Stay tuned to learn how to make 80 grand in 2 months and then take the whole rest of the year off.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I really do appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into the rest of the video. So it is January right now, and you want to head over to your big box retailer store after the holidays. First off, you'll notice that everything in the holiday section is about 50% off. So that's a markdown clearance price. So you can stock up on a couple of these Christmas trees if you will be doing interior setup, but if you don't, that's okay. You can move on to the next. So these are the most basic setup items. These are icicle lights for the home, exterior of the home. And next up over here, you're going to have some LED Christmas trees. These are for the outside exterior for the yard. Clients really love these. These are just Christmas ornaments. And then this is a different style of lighting. This one's a rope light, so it can be used on exterior for roofing. And then in the lighting and ornament section, you will find the snap-on clips for the lightings. So this will work for all sorts of lights. Now moving on to the gear portion. So if you don't have one already, you can get yourself a ladder. These ones always go on sale every now and then too. It doesn't have to be around the holiday time. You can get a 6 foot or longer. And the most vital part of the whole setup is the electrical. So this includes extension cables, power bars, power breakers if you need to set up. This is pretty straightforward. You don't need to be an electrician to do this. Just make sure you're reading the packaging before you buy it.
Your supplies, you want to be buying them at a markdown rate, right? So what you do is you just wait until you have that post-holiday sale. And then once the holiday sale is going, you'll get items for really insane markdown prices. So you're getting discounts of like 50% plus. And some of them are even marked down to 80% because they're just holiday. They're seasonal items, so they want to get them out before the manufacturers are making new things and putting them on resale for the next following season, right? And for this business, you only need about 1 or 2 employees. You can be doing this totally solo just by yourself, or you can be doing it with a helping hand, just hire one other person to keep the costs down, and you'd be making lots of profit. So the workload would be about, you'd be doing 1 job per day. Job should take roughly about 8 hours. You know, the average house to be setting up. If you're doing some interior stuff too, which is pretty rare, but if you're doing interior, you could take maybe more than that, so 2 days. Average house should take about just 1 day in and out once you're like, at the hang of things. Obviously, if you're doing your first few jobs, it might take a little bit longer. Just be sure to pre-plan and sort of understand how you're going to go in before you reach the job site. Your clients, you understand you're not wasting time. You're just putting in the work and you want to get things done pretty neat, and you want to be organized at the same time. So don't rush at the same time, right? But be productive. And if it's a bigger house, it could take up to 2 days, sometimes 3 days for very large luxury houses. In Vancouver, in this market, there's a lot of oversized houses where those ones could actually lead into 2 or even 3 days. So keep that in mind. And you will be working in a seasonal market. So what this means is you would be working every day for 7 days a week to maximize your profits. You want to operate in evenings, mornings, keep an open schedule. You're doing it for 2 months, right? And then you're setting up yourself for working 2 months to take the rest of the year off. So that's 10 months off with 2 months on, unless you're doing other side gigs. But this is just purely for if you want to work 2 months in the year. This is a hack to just take the rest of the year and go take a vacation if you want. And very little experience is required for this one. You just need to be able to safely the hang of using a ladder, going up and down, and you don't want to fall and obviously break some bones. It's just very simple stuff. Just make sure you know how to use a ladder. Placement of it and operating it, obviously. And you also want to be able to set up electronic systems. Not like be an electrician, but you want to know how to run extension cables, power bars, power circuits if needed, and sometimes backup generators. Backup generators you can install pretty simply. You can even buy them just separately and just hook them up. So it's pretty straightforward. So the cost factor breakdown on this one. You will need a vehicle because a vehicle, obviously, you can have a lot of supplies. You won't be able to just carry that around, or have maybe a car won't work for that. You might have to do a couple runs if you have a car, but yeah, there's going to be extensive materials, like a lot of lights, a lot of extension cables. You're obviously going to need your ladder, so probably a truck would be better for this one, or a work van, or if you have someone else that can just deliver the ladder before your work job, before you reach the site, then that's fine. And so you want to go in, you want to give the customer a quote and see what they're comfortable, what they want exactly, try to visualize, understand what they want, and sort of plan together. And then once they have that plan, you're going to want to confirm the plan with them and make sure you're both on the same page, price-wise and for the visuals, for the look too. And all supplies can be sold at retail value to make profits, right? So again, you're making profits on what you're buying down at the markdown rate, and then you're also going to be, at the same time, you will be selling that for a higher rate. So keep that in mind too. You want to make sure you're adding your labor fee of $180 per hour. So this one can be added at about $180 an hour. So you're doing about $180 an hour. This one's like no tips. It's just straightforward. It's the holiday season. It's a season of giving. People are pretty good with $180 per hour, what I've seen. And it is extensive work, right? And you're doing a lot of things that other people won't be capable of, and you'll be working in the cold and most likely the snow too. All right, so what is the profit and what will you be really making on a day-to-day basis, monthly, and then per the whole season, right? So let's go through it here step by step. So it's $180 per hour, what you'd be charging. And then remember, this is just for the labor. So all the supplies you're charging on top of that, right? You're not really using your own money for the supplies. The client's buying the supplies. You're selling it to them for the retail price, not the discount price, which you've purchased. So you're making profits on there too. But just the hourly rate, this would be $180 an hour for 8 hours a day, which is the typical job. That's $1,440 per day. If you want to times that by 7, so you're getting 10 grand per week. And monthly, obviously 10 times 4, that's 40 grand per month. And then you're doing that for the 2-month season, which is 80,000. So you're making that $80,000. That's the whole work year too. You just take the rest of the year off if you want to. Just go take a vacation, go to Dubai if you want to. And you're making profits on top of that with your markdown that you're getting the supplies at, and you'll also be getting profits on there too. All right, so I just switched locations. That last location got way too noisy. All the cars were honking around. I'm obviously in my car filming this, so near some traffic. I was near a main road, so I switched that spot up and I came here on a more quieter street, so don't mind that. Another thing I wanted to discuss is actually when you're done with the client's house for the season, they'll actually call you back post-season. So this is like January, February, or even March. Sometimes they go out for vacation and they'll come back more in March, but usually like January and February, what they'll do is they'll call you back to sort of take all of the stuff down and just revert the work that you did. So that's more time and energy you're putting in, and they're willing to pay the same rate that you're doing. So you can be doing $180 per hour just to be taking stuff down. And usually most clients, if you're doing a really good job and you're leaving these lights on, they're outdoor lights, right? So people, what they'll do is they'll get comfortable with them and then leave them on year round. But if it's like very, very extensive setup where you have a lot of things in the yard, a lot of things in the house, and it just looks very holiday and Christmassy, they're not going to want to leave that up all year round, obviously, right? So they're going to call you back, and then they're going to let you, because you're the one that installed it, so you best really. If someone else comes in, they might break stuff, so they'll eventually just give you a call back, and then they'll see, hey, why don't you come back and so take everything down, and all the supplies you can leave with them. Obviously they have a storage or something, they're going to set it up in there too, and then that's how you build your customer base too. So it's the lighting a little bit weird right now. Anyways, so you're going to go in and you're going to deinstall everything, uninstall is the right word, and you're going to want to go in and just put all their stuff neatly, stack it up. They can pay you extra. You're getting paid hourly, so if you want to be there helping just move stuff to their storage, that's even cool too if they prefer that. Otherwise you're making double, right? You're doing like over time, you're making double. You're making during the holiday season, and then after the holiday season, there's always another rush that comes, and you can keep your operations going. All right. Okay guys, so that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll keep more coming your way. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Later.